Today's or this week's masterclass is all about finding solutions. We always find solutions because you always know that there's no such a thing as a problem. It's just a growth. And this is really important because if we didn't have problems, how would it be? We'd have no growth. So, successful, find solutions to their problems as they know they are not problems, they are growth. Now, let's go to the word successful. Successful is whatever you determine it to be. It is not so much how much you earn or what you do or your status or your title or any of those 3D paradigm things. It's actually knowing that when there's a problem, it's not a problem. It's a thing that we've come to go, okay, it's challenged. I know there's a solution. In fact, I always find the solutions and that it's part of my growth. So no matter where it is, let's go personally to sometimes when we've had a problem. Now, the problem could have been running late for a meeting. It could have been the car won't start or a flat tire. Could have been the solar panel is broken. The oven's broken. The children, someone's broken their arm. Suddenly you're going into this 3D panic. Oh my God, it's a problem. It's a huge problem. However, when you take a breath and you access the core, highest, purest form of yourself, you understand, here it is. This thing I can get over. One of my affirmations, I write affirmations out every day and have done for many, many years, is I find easy, effective, efficient solutions that work. That's on the recording, so you can go back to it. I always find solutions. In fact, you all find solutions too. But what happens in the 3D paradigm, which is related to the solar plexus, is we go into this drama state and go into this like panic, which is held in the kidneys. Now, notice I'm going to give you a bit of a healing this morning by mentioning medical intuitive body consciousness. And when we do that, then we don't connect to the relationship of ourselves back into the kidneys. Then we go into fear, kidneys. Then the pancreas is going to jump in, bit of anxiety. Then the lungs are going to jump in and go into grief. And then connective tissue, memory, is going to go and connect the dots to when you had another problem and went into that same state or perception. And go, I can't do this. It's a huge problem. And then sometimes what we do is we want to tell someone to get help with that solution, but they jump on board our drama bus. And so as they jump on board that drama bus is the problem, they make it huge as well and go, oh my gosh, that's really bad. That's so bad. But you see, you have an innate ability to actually tune into all solutions all time. Place. How do I know this? Because somewhere we all volunteered to go, I'll come to Earth as a soul having a human experience and go, I'm ready for growth and evolution. Now, what is the growth? Our growth is to see potential, and the potential is within ourselves. Our growth is to know that anything is possible, which it is. Our growth is to see our purest, highest form, that anything can be created. Maybe we created the problem. Sometimes we do that on 3D paradigm. I know I have in the past. I've actually created the problem. See if you can relate to this story. I created the problem by making this, let's call it making a mountain on a molehill. So it was like this tiny little thing, and I give you just a really, really simple example that you might have thought of many, many years ago. The problem was I couldn't find a car park. My son was a tiny baby, he was about 7 days old. He had to go and have his first surgery, which was a hip bone graft. The first couple of days of his life was intensive care, and I was then able to take him home for a day and then had to bring him back for bone graft. My mind was all scattered in fear. My mind was thinking about this tiny little 7-day-old baby going in for surgery. And I'm thinking, I don't know the surgery. To have the surgery, but I don't want to. And my mind was just in a state of panic, fear. I love my baby. What's going to happen? What's going on? Now, in the meantime, my husband went into a drama bus as well, but a different form. His drama bus was, oh my gosh, we need to have our baby christened before he goes to surgery. For my husband, the drama was that if he wasn't christened and he died, he'd go to hell. I didn't have that belief. It's okay. So now I've got another added problem. My husband can't get there because he was in the army. I've got to find some sort of a priest before because my husband wanted the baby christened beforehand. And I've got to find a car park. And all those things, because I was so focused and going down this rabbit hole of fear, which is natural. Totally natural. Couldn't find the solutions. I'm crying. I'm trying to keep calm. Jamie's now picking up the energy as a tiny little baby and he's starting to cry. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, he can't be fed because he has to have nil by mouth because he might aspirate during the surgery. So he's now squealing and it's just breaking my heart. I eventually find the car park. And then I arrived really early at the hospital. And as I arrived, I asked, is there any possibility, having been a nurse, I knew that there could be a priest around somewhere. And because there was the Royal Brisbane, the Royal Women's, and the Royal Children's, that there might be somebody that can splash water or something or other to christen Jamie. Well, what happened was I just went, stop, just take a big breath. I know I can do this. I know I can. I know that there's something bigger behind this. So as I walked in, I just asked, hi, my name is, and I'm checking in my son for surgery. I'm a nurse, and I'm just wondering, is there a priest available to christen my son before? At that time, I'd asked one of my girlfriends if she would come in and be with me. She was running late, but she eventually turned up. And I said, you've got to be the proxy godmother. Please just do that because the godmother can't be here. They were able to find a priest. Everything started to work out. My husband was able to get the time off from the army as well. So things started to happen. But what changed was I had changed my perception. And I also allowed myself the privilege to get out of the erratic emotions. Now, emotions are really important, but we can change our state and standard of emotions as well. When I grounded myself, root chakra and feet, took a big breath, lungs, grief, react, response. I responded instead of reacting. And I suddenly found the solutions. Everything started to work. Although Jamie was crying, so all he wanted was to be fed. That was the least of the problems for me now. Because now everything was happening. I had the support. I had my girlfriend there. She said, yeah, sure, I'll be a proxy godmother. Problems. I had my husband there. He was happy because Jamie was going to be christened. The priest was on his way to splash water or something or other. That didn't faze me. But that made him happy as well. The car was parked. Everything was fine. I took a big breath in, and then I breathed all the way out. When I understood this was a growth and that this little tiny man had come into our lives to help me grow as a mum, help me to grow as a nurse, because now I was on the other side. I was the patient with my son, not the nurse. I realized that I'm successful. But it's not success as in the normal, because I've won $1 million or because I've earned X amount of dollars or I've lost weight or the normal, whatever we call success. The successful find solutions. And then came the time I had to hand over this tiny little baby, 7 days old, to the theatre staff. My pride jumped in. I refused to cry. Had my cigarettes, my handbag, because back then I smoked. That was going to relieve my grief. Handed over the baby, and then they said, we'll see you on the other side. It'll take X amount of time. I went downstairs, and instead of crying, holding back all the emotions, I had about 7 cigarettes. Smoking is all the grief, but I was suppressing it in the lungs. And I realized already this experience was a massive growth. I realized that throughout my life, I'd always had things work out for me. But I also realized that when I went into absolute panic fear and I didn't ground myself, that's when I felt like everything wasn't working. And I realized that I could be the creator of my own world. And what was the growth? And I chose to focus on the growth because I didn't really want to focus on a tiny little baby and having bone graft and things drawn out from his hip and injected into his mouth, and et cetera, and all the things of his little future that he was about to have. I don't want to focus on that for the moment. I need to focus on something amazing. And I share this story because I want you to reflect on, where has there been something in your life, personal or professional, where you've gone, oh my gosh, I can't find a problem. Or maybe you're in that state right now, or yesterday, a week ago. And yet, successful find solutions to their problems as they know they're not problems, they are growth. It's growth. And that you always have found solutions to the problems. And if you hadn't had the problems, you wouldn't be who you are today, because they're not problems. It's just not problems. I'm going to go back to 2020, because that was an upside down time for everybody. When there's now the lockdown. I was driving back from Stradbroke Island. To start with, I was on the island, which is an island off Brisbane, and I was trying to have a little mini holiday. But I got a text message saying, if you're on the island, because I don't watch the news or anything, if you're on the island, you need to get off. Please catch the most immediate ferry that you can. Well, this was about 7 o'clock at night. The ferries weren't working. So went to the ferry early in the morning with my car. And while I was sitting in the car, didn't know what this lockdown thing was. I put on the radio. What's this lockdown thing? And my mind instantly went, okay, if we have to stay at home for however long, for whatever reason, still don't understand. My dog at that time, well, he needs exercise in his mind and his body because he's a working dog. So do I. Actually, we're both alike. So what could I do? My mind instantly went to the solutions because I knew there was a growth from this. And I went, okay, no problems. If there's lockdown, we have to stay at home for a bit. No problems. What I'll do is I'll just go and buy 20,000 tennis balls because my dog is really well trained, but I've never trained him to go play fetch and bring a ball through a tennis ball. He'd go run it, bite it, pop it, and then run off. He'd never bring it back. And we've got a long backyard, really long. I'll throw it and I'll try. My mind was already working out the solutions for his exercise, for his mind and his body. So was me, because it was my mind and body that was being trained. Him or me. It's me. I'd find the solution. That'd be easy. Totally easy. You see, You're already doing this. You've just forgotten. And this masterclass is all about remembering. You already find the solutions to those supposed problems because you understand that's a growth, a total growth. So whether it's personal or professional, whatever has been in the past, just review it right now for a moment. That problem you had, look at the growth that you had from it. It's sure, it might have been painful. Acknowledge yourself for it. Give yourself praise. Even celebrate today with it. But know that you found the solution and you grew from it. As hard as it might have been, or as easy it might have been, buy 20,000 tennis balls. By the way, I didn't buy the tennis balls because it was easy. I was allowed to walk Zach, and I'd walk with Zach like 3 o'clock in the morning and 11 o'clock at night. Nobody was around. I actually loved it. It was amazing. Lockdown was fabulous. I got to walk by myself with Zach, all extraordinarily beautiful places. Nobody. You've always found the solution and the growth that you became the truest, highest form of you. So what if this week is about celebrating that, about connecting to that, about connecting how amazing you did, that you are a success, but it's got nothing to do with, as I mentioned, the 3D paradigm success. Successful is knowing that you can be, do you have, you find solutions, that you're the purest form of you, that you are pure love, that you always find solutions. You understand deep, deep down that you're growing and evolving. And no matter what age you are today, when you look back at your life, it's like, hey, check that out. Wow. Let's take a big breath in right now. Breathe all the way out. And imagine the world. And if we all understood that we're always growing, the news would be different. Not that I listen to the news, but the news would be different. That we totally grow. So when there was Twin Towers, the year of COVID, tsunamis, or whatever's happening in the world today, there's actually a growth. If we sit just for a moment and reflect back, that's called history. Hi, story. Let's look at the story. What was the growth that we had from it? How can we grow? In the mystery school, we used to sit around and share our stories and grow from each other and understand. When other people share, we can grow from their learning as well. And that's what we're going to do right now, is we're actually going to do some sharing. We're going to share a golden heart. Golden heart is, what did you just get from this masterclass lesson? And that's why I love to do this. It's not about just what I share. It's what you all share, because we all learn from your growth too. And be able to go, oh, yeah. And a golden heart, the gold is the alchemy, and the heart is like, pop, it landed into our heart. In our head, sometimes monkey mind will step in. So I'm going to go around the Zoom room. And if you'd like to unmute yourself to share your golden heart, that would be amazing. Or if you want to put it in the Facebook chat and then I can read it out, that'd be amazing too. So we'll go Kelly and Sonny and Leona. Oops.
Yep, I'm all good. Sorry, I'm on my phone this morning. It's a little bit
That's
different.
a good tell.
Yes, it does make sense. I've always felt that it's all learning and growth. But after my son passed away, I sat in grief a long time and then hopped on my journey. But it's all just clicking in that it was all growth, and I don't need to feel guilty that I don't sit in grief anymore. These things have all taught us a million lessons of more compassion, more love, more kindness, more everything. And without it, we would never have got to where we are.
Beautiful, beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing, Dylan. I'm not sure who's next. I can't remember. Is it Leona? I can't remember. While someone unmutes, I'm going to go to Pauline. My golden heart
Morning,
is
everybody.
up. Go
It's
for
all
it,
right. I'll
Leona.
go first, Pauline. Yeah, no, my golden heart is that success can be small and or big. So even little successes are good.
Beautiful, thank you. Pauline's got, I am the example of what's possible. Definitely. And then we've got Laverne. We're on the plane now to Sydney. Oh my goodness. Our 2 flights have been delayed, and I'm just thankful, as I believe is for the best for us. Probably means we won't have jet lag with the longer travel time. We just get to play more in the airport, see more planes, and my son can ride his little suitcase ladybug more. Happy days. Amazing. There we go. Live action. And then we've got Lou. Success is determined by solutions, surrender to the solutions. That's beautiful wording, Luke. Thank you so much. Who was next? Because I can't remember. Let's go. We'll start again. We'll go Sonny, Kim, Ruth, and Monique. We might go on to Kim because Sonny, I'm not sure if she can unmute herself.
Morning, everyone. Mine was being successful is knowing a problem has a solution. Just as simple as that, really.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. Mine is that this week would be a golden opportunity to reflect on moments of successful solutions that I've found in my life to date.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Mine was just to celebrate the small wins as well as the more bigger, obvious ones. So thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You can see why sharing is so important because you all have this great wisdom. And so as I go back to this image, I know that you can download this image from my Facebook group so that you've got it as a reminder on your phone that successful find solutions to their problems as they know they are not problems, they are growth. And it's just in this crazy 3D paradigm that we sometimes go onto the drama bus and go, oh, that's okay, have that moment, as we all do sometimes. And then take a deep breath, get grounded with your feet, your root chakra, and know that it's a growth enhancing experience and that you'll always find the solution no matter what. And then, just like Monique said, allow yourself to celebrate. Celebrate that moment of, okay, now whether the problem was, can't find my car keys and it's taking you 3 minutes to find them, celebrate. There's always a solution. And know that you are the purest, highest form of you. And all these problems are actually experiences and growth for you to see you as we see you. Well, you forgot to see you. So have the bestest week, lovely souls. And I look forward to hearing how you go. Bye.